everyone. Today we are going to be talking about author's perspective. Now, we have already talked about an author's purpose. The author's purpose is why they wrote the article, which is either to perform, persuade, inform, or entertain. Today we're going to talk about the author's perspective, which is their viewpoint or how they feel about the subject. So in order to figure out how the author feels about the subject, what is their perspective, we need to figure out what their opinion or attitude is about the subject. So to do that, we're going to think about what is their purpose? Are they trying to inform me or persuade me to do something? What is the author's opinion or attitude about the subject? And what is the author's purpose for expressing this opinion or attitude? So to figure out what an author's perspective is, we need to think about what information do they give us in the articles. So authors will use quotes and facts and stories to try to get their point across. So we're going to read this article called Bouncing into Trouble. A new study shows that injuries at trampoline parks are increasing. So already I know from this section that we're going to be talking about injuries and that they are increasing. In recent years, the number of trampoline parks in the U.S. has taken a big jump. As more parks popped up, Dr. Catherine Kasmeyer found herself treating many more kids who got hurt while bouncing around at them. Kasmeyer decided to find out just how bad the problem was. From 2010 to 2014, the number of trampoline parks went from 25 to more than 350. So here I have a statistic. A statistic is when they give us numbers. So I can see that in 4 years, they went from 25 parks to more than 350. So that's a big increase in parks. So the parks increased. That's according to the International Association of Trampoline Parks. So it sounds like this came from a really reliable source. A new study led by Kasmeyer shows that the number of injuries at these parks also grew. There were fewer than 600 injuries in 2010, while almost 7,000 in 2014. So that's another important statistic because it's showing me how many more injuries there were in those 4 years. At these parks, trampolines are connected to each other. Kids often get hurt when they slam into each other or land on the hard frames. The most common injuries are sprains and broken bones, but more serious injuries like neck fractures also occur. Trampoline parks usually have safety measures such as padded walls and employees who supervise the bouncing action. But Kasmeyer thinks jumping on a trampoline is always risky. She says kids should take precautions. Don't jump on the same trampoline as someone else at the same time, she says, and don't do flips. So I'm looking at the information the author gave me. She gave me a lot of statistics about the increase in parks and the increase in injuries. She also talked about the different kinds of injuries: sprains, broken bones, neck fractures. She told me how kids get hurt. They slam into each other and they land on the hard frames. So it's clear that this author's perspective is that trampoline parks are dangerous. I know that this is the author's perspective because of the information that she chose to include. So when you read, pay attention to the facts that the author chooses to include in their article. You are going to be reading another article today, and you will be determining what is the author's perspective and how do you know.